It's the clash of two giants in the world of chess. Ding Liren with the white pieces takes on Vishy Anand. And Ding is better right now because he has two minor pieces for the rook. A very good move is to play his rook to b4, putting pressure on these pawns. And that is exactly what Ding does. A fantastic move. Now Vishy can't hang on to his extra pawn here. So he takes on a5 and Ding can take the pawn, attacking the pawn on b7 and the rook on c6, and he does so. Knight takes a5 and Vishy is going to lose his extra pawn as well, because after rook takes b7, here's an interesting variation. You can't go king c8, I give you a check and then a discovered check, and then the bishop comes here and you lose the rook. So there you have it. Ding takes on b7, you have to go back to e8. Now a nice move is knight c4, because you are looking at the d6 square later on and the knight is well placed there. But instead Ding goes knight b3, which is fine, which is not bad. Here's an important thing to note. If the rooks are traded, it's beneficial to black, because then it will be a rook versus two minor pieces, which is not easy to convert. But until the rooks are on the board, white is clearly better because he can create huge threats against the black king. And that's the reason why you can see Vishy playing his rook to e8, because what he wants to do is he wants to come to e7 and trade off the rooks. For Ding now, it might be a very good idea to start bringing in his knight into the game and then to f5. And that is what he does. Great move by Ding, and the pawn can also move forward. Now Anand wants to play rook e7, he does it. Of course Ding doesn't exchange, he understands these things pretty well. Vishy wants to bring his rook back on e8, but taking his time. For now Ding is ahead on the clock, he has 5 minutes 40 seconds, and now Anand plays king f5. But can Ding go to f5 with his knight? You can see Vishy not happy there. I think he wanted to play rook e8, then he went king f7 and knight comes to f5. But there is a move, rook d7, stopping knight d6 check for the time being, and black is still clinging on. White is clearly better, but there's no clear way to break through, and that's why Ding goes h5. Look how his h pawn actually cramps all these pawns on the king side. Vishy plays rook to a5, and his point is that now if the knight moves, then he can pick up the pawn on h5. But there is a check here on d6, and that's exactly what Ding does. He gives a check, king comes up. Now threat is to take the knight on d6 and knight b5, blocking. But now Anand has a new strategy up his sleeve. He started to make his moves quickly. He's threatening to enter here, and king g2, fantastic move by Ding. That's the best move. King g4, attacking the h5 pawn. You must push it to h6. Can Ding do it? You look at the time, Ding is now down to a minute. Vishy has started playing not just his opponent but also the clock. g5 played. Bishop has to move back. Bishop e3, that's what Ding does. And look at Anand, he's played king h5, attacking the pawn on h6. A very good move now is rook b6, so that if you take on h6, I can take the pawn on f6. A variation can go something, yes, Ding finds it, can go something like king h6, rook f6, king goes back, you move and save your knight again. Now the g5 pawn is hanging, and that way it would be better. So Vishy does not take on h6, he goes to g6 and defends his pawn. He asks Ding, what is your plan now? It seems like White's coordination is a little bit off. King f3 is the best move, but Ding blunders here. He goes g4. And why is this a mistake? Because Anand has to find rook a4, and he does so. Beautiful move, attacking the pawn. But what if Ding simply defends it? Well, there Vishy shows his plan. He pins the knight, and this is such an irritating pin. Now Ding should go knight a7 quickly and exchange this, because if he goes knight c3 now, the problem is after take there's rook d3 and you lose the knight. All of this is a big problem. He goes king f3. This is still equal, but now Vishy has things under control. And also look at the time, he has 4 extra minutes. Things have turned tremendously, and Anand knows, he smells that he has a chance here. Rook d3, he wants to double down the b file and win this knight. Ding must quickly go for rook d6. No, but he goes rook b8. He wants to give rook g7 check. So if you go rook b3, he goes check. And now if king h6, there's knight d6. And if you go king f7, there's rook g7. So Vishy first plays here king takes h6. And he's like, now Ding, you don't have a check. You're still pinned very badly. And there you have Ding now down to 10 seconds, shaking his head. He's unhappy. Oh, he has to find rook b6, which is the only move. He finds it. f6 is hanging now. Vishy goes and defends the pawn. Now for only move is rook d6. He must find it so that to break the pin and equalize the game. The game is then drawn. But Ding now down to 4 seconds does not find it. It seems like 1 second he goes rook b8, blunders. Vishy plays rook b3. King check, king f7, and now the rook is attacked, the knight is attacked, and Ding Liren can't believe from a completely winning position. He has botched this up. Vishy really finding all the best moves and resignation. What a victory for Vishy Anand.